Warning, this video is intense. And not just because of Liam Payne's alleged secrets, but also because of what we're learning that she suffered, according to her and those close to her. Perez Hilton here, and that is Maya Henry. She previously dated and was engaged to Liam Payne. They were together for years, but had a very messy split. In fact, I shared with you all that just weeks before the One Direction member's tragic passing in Buenos Aires, she sent him and his reps a cease and desist letter. She was taking legal action because word got back to her that Liam allegedly was disseminating sensitive content of her. He had in his possession, according to her, intimate material of her that he was sending to people. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. As I previously told you all, Maya has opened up about how Liam, according to her, forced her to get an abortion. She previously wrote about that in a novel that was very closely based on her relationship with the British pop star. And now, in an explosive expose from Rolling Stone, the magazine says that in 2020, Liam allegedly gave Maya Henry an ultimatum. Keep the baby or keep him. Quote, Liam sent Maya a long message saying it's either get an abortion and stay with him or raise the kid alone, and he will not acknowledge either of them. This was a surprise to Maya because Liam wanted to have a family and they were trying for a kid. And by that point, 2020, he was already a father to his son Bear, whom he had with British pop star Cheryl. This we all know, but the magazine also reveals a lot of new information previously unheard until now. Rolling Stone says, after speaking to Maya and those close to her, quote, Liam struggled with his sexuality. During his relationship with Maya, he sexted men. And she found out about it by accident. According to the magazine, Liam had been sexting men, strangers. How reckless. He wasn't of sound mind then. And she caught him accidentally broadcasting these messages to their TV. He was probably getting off on that. She found out he was in some way cheating on her and also hiding a big part of himself. 2020 was an especially difficult year for their relationship. The magazine says that with the COVID lockdown, Liam, who had mental health problems, likely had sexuality issues, already had a drug problem. Now to suddenly be stuck at home with nothing to do, he deteriorated. And then things got real violent. According to Rolling Stone, Liam allegedly pushed Maya Henry down a flight of stairs when they were having an argument. Pushed her down a flight of stairs. The magazine also reports that during another fight, Liam allegedly chased her with an axe. How frightening. If true, obviously, Liam is not here to defend himself, But what she does say, I think, holds weight. It is something to really consider. Maya tells Rolling Stone the following that I find interesting, I guess is the word. She is sharing her truth, and she says, while I loved him deeply, he did things that hurt me in ways I'll never fully understand. And he continued to hurt me years after we broke up. On drugs, he became someone unrecognizable, so different from his sober self. I kept hoping each incident would be a wake-up call for him to get help, but it never was. I tried to be there for him. I loved him so much that I convinced myself I could fix things. I knew there were parts of himself he was struggling with, parts of his identity he wasn't ready to fully face, even within our relationship. In the end, it wasn't just the betrayals or the addictions that broke us. It was the realization that I had spent years in something that was never what I thought it was. I don't fault him for his struggles. Even years after they broke up, not only was he sending allegedly intimate images of her to people, but according to Maya, he was also harassing her and her family with texts and emails and unwanted contact years after they had broken up. Broken up. I said that weird. Rolling Stone also spoke to Roger Norris, Liam's friend, who is facing charges down in Argentina. Roger has been so chatty. He says, I was his friend. I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't a psychiatrist. I wasn't his legal guardian. I never had any control of that. I wasn't his manager. I wasn't his father. You can only do so much. Well, the authorities down in Argentina disagree with Roger, and they've charged him with homicidio culposo, basically manslaughter. Roger tells Rolling Stone that on the day of his death, they met up for breakfast, and when Liam took a whiskey shot at breakfast, Roger complained. He was upset about that. He protested. They went to his room, Liam's hotel room, and Roger says that there were no narcotics that he personally saw on display. Half an hour later, after Roger had left, two professional female lovers showed up and Liam refused to pay them the $5,000 that he'd promised them. Then he trashed his hotel room. The hotel called Roger, who went back to Casa Sur Palermo. Well, Roger returned to Liam's room to find white powder, aluminum foil, a makeshift pipe, the room in disarray, including the smashed TV, and Roger, quote, expressed his displeasure, as he wrote in his official statement, and left his friend. And then we all know what happened. This is a lot to process. He was clearly more than troubled. He was struggling with addiction and tortured in so many ways. And this might sound weird, but in some capacity, I hope that the more there is that's out there, that in the future, that could be healing for his son. I would want to fully know my dad, and that could help me process and understand why he did what he did and heal and grieve and accept and see him as a human. Thoughts on everything? Let me know in the comments section.